right here. All right, so in this session, we're just gonna look at all the pairs that we're gonna potentially trade for today, and if there are any trades to give out, we will give them out on the call. This is just a follow-up from Sunday's live call. So on Sunday, we did our Sunday Market Blitz, covered all the analysis. If you guys are not in, go ahead and share my screen real quick. If you guys are not in the Telegram or the Discord, this is where all this stuff is getting posted. I know a lot of people aren't in the Discord, but I'm going to pull up this. So in the Discord chat, we've got mad people joining right now. Early in the week, like on Sunday, we posted all of our analysis. I'm just going to scroll up. So here, this is all higher time frame stuff. So you guys can use this analysis throughout the week. Again, it's completely free. And then every single day we'll post a watch list for the New York session and then also the Asian session. So this is all free, guys. You could use all this analysis if you're trading any of these pairs just to compare, or if things do execute on them, which we're going to show in a second what we're looking at. You guys can take trades off it. And this is in the Discord and the Telegram. So if you guys aren't in there, make sure you get in the Discord and the Telegram. I imagine most of you are at least in the Telegram right now. But yeah, so Nick's gonna get started. He's gonna cover some of the minor pairs, including the dollar index, and we're pretty much gonna get into it. So if you have any questions, just write in the chat throughout the session, and we can go back and answer them.
Yeah, this guy wants the Discord link.
Yeah,
I'll drop it in the chat.
Yeah, I'll drop it in. I'll drop it in the chat for you.
Okay, cool. Let me just share here. Good to go. All right, guys. So we're gonna kick it off how we usually do. For those of you that are kind of the veteran webinar goers, you guys know that we always start on DXY. We start on the higher time frames. We establish the trend, or we take a look and understand what the trend is. Then we'll drop to the 4-hour and kind of mark up some trade ideas. Okay, so DXY. Always start off with DIX. We don't really trade it. This is an indice. It's currency index. It pretty much just shows the strength of the dollar, right? And we do this because the dollar is the reserve currency of the world. It definitely is, heavily weighted in Forex, right? So if we see the dollar start to drop, we'll see a lot of the market slide as well. This is kind of the big player that drives a lot of the market. So you'll see a lot of reaction based on DXY movement. Okay, so it's good to understand this trend, see what the dollar's doing, and then, with that in mind, we'll move over to other pairs, start analyzing and coming up with trade scenarios. So clearly this is very bearish, guys, the dollar, right? We recently broke through this weekly support over here, which was main zone for a while, part of this ascending channel here. So it broke through that, and then we just started falling. We started plummeting down to our next major zone, our monthly, where we saw price action hit, then consolidate, gave us a lower high, and then push through that zone, right? So that's where we're at now. We pushed to a new low below the monthly, closer to 89.5. Then we pulled back from there, and now we've established a bit of a 4-hour bullish trend into this monthly, right at 91.5, where we saw a ton of rejection, nice daily bearish engulfing, pretty much closure right at that monthly, and now it's pushing down. So it looks like we're continuing with this overall bearish trend, but let's drop to the 4-hour and mark up some trade ideas. Let's see where the dollar could be going. Right. Okay, so we know the daily is bearish, and we said the 4-hour was bullish, right? After we saw this little transition here, right? We broke the resistance. We started getting some higher highs, higher lows, moved through resistance again into our monthly. So this was a little bit of a bullish trend here, right? Until this happened, this huge meltdown. So obviously we saw massive rejection from the monthly, right? This is a huge daily bearish engulfing this whole bearish variation here, these two candles. Right, so massive rejection. It blew right through support at 90.8. So now, we were originally looking for, higher low to form here, nice bullish setups, maybe some variation, the bullish variations crossing to the MAs. Could have got a nice long opportunity off this area if we had the confirmation, but instead, obviously, you can see it melted right through. So now we're going to change our bias on the 4-hour. Okay, this is looking like it's lining up more with the daily, the overall bearish trend. So from here, we're looking for a lower high, below 90.8 now, with strong bearish setups. And then we can comfortably say, hey, this next bearish leg is coming on the dollar. We're going to drop to 90. So expect, heavy dollar bearishness, okay, going into, said week. So that's where we're at now, guys. Definitely bearish on the dollar. Nothing really looking that great. We could get a pullback, look for that lower high near this 200 EMA, near 90.8, then the continuation. So that's DXY. All right, with that in mind, let's move on to AU. We're going to do the exact same thing, daily time frame, and then drop to the 4-hour. Okay, so overall, we are very bullish here on AU, as we can see. Okay, massive transition happened here when we broke through weekly resistance, or our monthly resistance. I'm sorry, this was a weekly transition. We got a higher low, and then a very strong rally into our next weekly zone all the way up here. Okay, so as you can see, very strong bullish trend, right? We saw a little bit of resistance here at our weekly zone, 0.76, blew right through it. Then we started consolidating. Now it's pulling back and testing that broken weekly zone as new support, or at least it did, and then, continued bullish. So let's drop to the 4-hour now. We know that it's very much bullish on the daily. Okay, what kind of trade scenarios could we be seeing here? Are we going to go with the trend? Do we see a break of trend? Are we long or short? So here, obviously, we saw that this zone was broken, right? Pushed higher, consolidated, pulled back the test that broken weekly level, acted as support, nice little 3 touches, and then nice bullish volume. So clearly we're bullish on the 4-hour still now. Okay, and now we're looking for long opportunities. So ideally, we're looking for higher lows at this point to then enter on, right? It is a bit extended, so I'm not going to be buying at a high. Even if it does look like it's breaking out, I don't really want to buy that. I want to wait for more conservative entry. So ideally, the most recent broken level of resistance, 0.768, I would like to see it pull back to there. Let me just redraw these for you guys. Oops, there you go. So something like this.
Dude, my friggin' Zoom is frozen.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, you're fine.
Try to unshare and reshare.
Okay, 1 second, guys.
There's like mad people trying to join right now, and I can't let them in.
All right, I'm not sharing anymore.
Oh yeah, now we're good. You can yeah, you can reshare again.
Okay.
All right, cool.
And we're back, guys. All right, so this thing is definitely looking bullish now. I am going to get rid of these fibs. So I think this personally going to pull back through the MAs, give us some sort of higher low, look for a bullish entry, a bullish variation. Just if the confirmations are there, this is what it would look like. And then obviously, if you want an even more conservative entry, if this is, when it starts to play out, if it's too much risk for you, just wait for, or it's a little too risky for you, you could wait for a higher low. Oh, geez. There we go. We're looking for a higher low above 775, like so. Okay. So there are a couple entry opportunities here, depending on if this, how this plays out. Whoa. Oh my Lord. All right, there we go. So, like so. So a couple entry opportunities here, both pretty good. One more conservative than the other, but both have great potential. So look for this, guys, right? We're looking to enter on these higher lows. Okay. After, above these levels of support. And then we're targeting higher. All right, so that's AU. This lines up very well with USD, or bearish, US dollar. Just as we covered on the dollar, if it does pull back to test the broken support level, it just broke, right? This little pullback here, that actually lines up very well with the pullback on the AU. Now, again, they're not 100% correlated, but I'm just kind of applying what I see. I know they both look very similar. And then, there's certain things that I'm looking for that look similar as well, like, where key support is and key resistance is, right? So both so far line up with the, the pullback idea and then a continuation. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Definitely long on AU for the time being. So let's move over to AJ. Daily time frame to start. This is going to be pretty similar to AU as well. Just a little more volume probably coming out of AJ here. So let's just zoom out for a little bit. Get an overall idea of the trend. We're on the daily again, guys. Very bullish, right? Recently broke key resistance at 76.5, our monthly zone. Then we continue to rally very steadily after that break, right? So this is good. This shows a nice healthy trend. Clearly we are bullish. And honestly, nothing here shows that we're bearish. We need to break the supporting trend line at the very least, excuse me, and then this higher low as well. And then we need to see some lower highs, lower lows, etc. So right now, very much bullish on AJ as well. We expected that though. So let's go right to the 4-hour, come up with some trade ideas. All right, so very bullish. right? We did have a double top form at our high over here, just above 80.8, pulled back, little transition, and then just consolidated like crazy. So this was pretty interesting because of this consolidation was forming so high, right? We had a little bit of a transition here, but then this level of support was holding very, very well, 79.6, right? So this shows that the bulls are still in control and the bears are trying, right? There's a fight happening in here, but obviously the bears were not able to win. They were not able to push price action below 79.6, so the bullish trend was maintained. Okay, so we literally saw the breakout here, nice little final higher low in this range, and then it just burst out, huge rally up to, I'm sorry, this is a new fib now. So we exceeded 0%. I'm going to mark from conviction to the high. And now this will give us our next trade scenario, right? Because we saw the breakout, pushed higher. Now we want to wait for a pullback. We want to see structure. We want to see a conservative entry opportunity. Okay, we're going to target a negative 27, potentially higher. But essentially, we're looking for pullback to 61.8, 80.25. Look for that higher low. Enter on those, bullish setups. So this is what it would look like, something like this. Okay. So this is only a confirmed break once we have the higher low. Because look, we can have a price action obviously rally very high, but it could come right back and fall into the range. Kind of unlikely given the amount of volume we're seeing. It's not as choppy as back here, let's say. Once it did push higher, it kind of just started stalling. This is stalling too. So I mean, we'll see. Maybe it'll pull back, maybe it'll continue higher. But either way, before we get in long, you really want to see that higher low, the confirmed break and retest, right? So we'll be watching AJ. Definitely looking like a good little trade here, though. I mean, this is going to be, what is this, about 100 pips, guys, to the 27. I know it doesn't look like too much, but this is a ton of volume right here. This is actually a pretty big distance that price action is covered already. So about 100 pips this trade will be. All right, so that's AJ. For us to consider, a bearish or to be bearish on this pair, we really need to see a break back below into this range and then outside of this trend. So we need to see some lower highs below this trend line, below 79.6 and so on. That's how we comfortably turn bearish on AJ. All right, so those DXY, AU, AJ. Let's move on to UJ now. Okay, this one's looking super great. Angelo actually caught a crazy freaking sell on this, guys. For those of you guys that are in signals, yeah, you guys cashed out. That was an insane drop. But we're not done, right? It's not done yet. There's still a lot more potential on AJ. We'll see what we can come up with. But for now, let's go to the daily. Overall, we can see we're very much bearish, right? Very much bearish. We have been for a while. I don't need to go back anymore. It's just been bearish for so long, right? And clearly, we have a very strong bearish channel. We did have a bit of bullishness right here, right? Rallying into the 200 EMA and also prior lower high right at 104 or 105.5. Okay. So huge resistance level. Clearly, respected, obviously rejected a lot of wicks. And yeah, just a good confluence level. So we definitely expected that pullback. But where's price action going now? We know clearly that UJ is bearish on the daily. So let's go to the 4-hour now and see what we can make of it. What kind of trade scenarios we could spot. Okay, so overall very bearish we saw on the daily, as we said, but then on the 4-hour here we had a bit of bullishness, right? First transition happened here, broke these lower highs, gave us a descending triangle, then it rallied out, huge explosion of price action, and then it rallied through 104.5, which is kind of upsetting. That was our kind of key level that goes back, a while, a couple years actually. So sad to see that was broken, but we're looking for that higher low now above, right? Key level was broken. Now we're looking for the retest. We're there right now. We are holding. I mean, price action was literally a falling knife, guys, and then stopped on a dime. So clearly this level has weight. How it holds up here, will determine, where we go on UJ. But as of right now, this is a level of structure, right? This is a 61.8. The 200 EMA is now down here. We are on the above side of it now, which is good. So now we're looking for maybe a little more consolidation, let these MAs catch up. Then I want to see, just a confirmed higher low. Because again, if this doesn't confirm a higher low and give me a lower time frame transition, this is not a true, bullish or higher low rather. Okay, it's not a true high or low. So then if it breaks lower, it's invalid. We're no longer looking for long opportunities. But as long as price action remains above 1045, that's what we're looking for. Okay, so structure's forming now. Look for that lower time frame transition, and then we'll look to enter long somewhere over here. Ideally, I'm gonna drop time frames to the 1 hour just because this is pretty close to an entry. Potentially. All right. Okay, cool. So here we're on the 1 hour. See this now, the 200 EMA. We're between the 200 EMA and the lower time frame EMAs. Okay, so this is what I want to see to happen for me to comfortably enter long, something like this. Okay, quick little move above the MA, above the 38.2, this little minor level of resistance, pretty much at 105 flat. I want to see a little move above that. Quick retest, doesn't really matter at this point. I'll be taking an entry on, any type of bullish variation in here because, again, it will already confirm this higher low, 4 hour MA cross of the 1 hour 2 MA, and so on. There's enough confirmation, is what I'm saying, for me to confidently take that trade. Okay, so that's what it's looking like. It's a nice little move through this level here. Let's go back to the 4 hour, see if it makes sense. Okay. And that's my next trade on UJ that I'm looking for right now. Or bullish trade, if it does, move this way, pull back through the MAs, get above 105 and start printing some, bullish candles. That's what I would need to see happen for me to enter long. But if this drops below 1045 again, gives us that lower high, especially below this 200 MA, we could look to take shorts immediately, honestly. Because this is no light level, guys. This is a very significant level, 1045. So if we start seeing lower highs below that, we're going to short it. Like so, right in this area.
Short it. Someone asked, so we're currently in an AJ long right now. Just lock in the break even because you should be up about 0.5% or so. And this thing looks like it's going to head higher. So
yeah,
lock in right now. If it retests that high and then rejects it like 81,200, like a little below there, then you can start to take profits. But it looks like it's going to get a little bit more upward movement before it comes back down.
Yeah, it's still got some juice. So with that said, right, that's the other scenario, right? If it does continue to push higher, wherever it ends up, guys, because it hasn't formed structure yet, we're just going to extend our fibs and then look at our structure levels again. So when it finally does pull back, these are the areas we'll be looking. 38.2, 61.8. All right. But yeah, it does look like it's got some juice. This is thing's moving. All right. So
Thing is moving.
Right. So that's UJ. Now let's get EJ and then I'll cover gold. Hey, we finally got the break. All right, let's go to the daily first. Oh my God, EJ. This thing is it takes forever to pan out. All right, so overall, very bullish, guys. EJ, kind of a funky pair. Once it starts moving, it commits, whether it's up or down, or even in a overall daily bullish trend. This thing has these huge bearish swings still, right? So interesting pair. Overall, very bullish though. Currently, we are sitting at this monthly zone, which we saw massive rejection from in the past, but now things are a little different. We're getting a lot of false breakouts, less bearish movement. We're pretty much just consolidating at this monthly zone, right at 126.5. Okay, so obviously very bullish. Let's go to the 4 hour, mark up some trade scenarios. All right, so crazy amount of ranging, guys. We were covering this for the last few weeks. This range is actually so big, we were saying you could trade the range. And I mean, you would have made an absolute freaking killing on something like this if you did. But anyway, that's, the consolidation's done. We're seeing a lot more volume step into the market, especially with this false breakout. We failed to get a higher low. Price action absolutely melted down towards 125 and then started pulling back, right? But one thing we noticed is the volume is kind of held, right? Especially compared to back here. This is a good sign. It's a very good sign. And obviously it's, majority, bullish candles here that the volume's coming from. So, this lines up with our daily trend, right? Very bullish, very, very bullish. Okay, so from here, we were waiting for a higher low above 126.5 or a lower high below 126, really, to get an idea of where this is going. Because again, look, I mean, we did respect this resistance, pulled back, blew through resistance, dancing around it here, blew through resistance here again, blew through support. So it's kind of been just all over the place. It's an explosion of price action volume, right? So To see that it's finally giving us something that we can identify is nice. Like this higher low, this is really what we were waiting for. You know, push higher, confirm higher low, nice bullish variation. So then enter long on and target the -27. We are getting that now, but it just doesn't have the conviction, right? I mean, like,
What this? I mean, this thing
yeah,
looks pretty bullish.
yeah,
It's
definitely bullish, but I would have liked to see these. Like, I don't like these random dojis in here.
yeah. I mean, it's right now. It's sort of like, do you want to enter at this high? I mean, go down to the lower time frame.
Yeah, right. If the entry, yeah, it would be now, if anything. Just comes down to how confident you may be in
Yeah,
this trade.
guys. So if this thing comes back to like 126, 800, right around that area, and then starts to show signs of like still being bullish, then I would just take a long on this.
Yeah, let me split this real quick, actually.
Yeah, right in that area.
This is interesting. It almost looks like it's a symmetrical kind of like formation here. I'm trying to see. It's not really like a head and shoulders, I don't think. All right, let me see this.
What this? No.
No, it's not.
Just
But
a VWAP.
yeah, it's
The
hey guys,
VWAP.
we got a new pattern. We need a name for this pattern, guys.
Yeah.
This is a new one.
I mean,
Undiscovered.
it came off strong from that level. The volume's there. I mean, it's just retesting right now. I would definitely, guys, if it comes to 126, 800, I would definitely long.
Yeah, so this is your opportunity here, guys.
127.
All right, so yeah, it is just pulling back to test this minor level. These MAs are here too as well. So this could be, let's see. Yeah, I mean, guys, so the way EJ is moving too, it's definitely like hard to analyze in comparison to other pairs. So if you guys are noticing you're struggling on a certain pair, mix it up. Don't feel bad about abandoning a pair, starting, analysis on another one. Because, again, some pairs are easier, some pairs are harder. EJ clearly has been pretty difficult lately. So this is the opportunity we're looking for, though, guys. Nice little pullback on this 1 hour, looking for some higher low, some rejection, and then bullish variations to continue long on. But yeah, if it blows through this support, then we'll have to just wait.
The mofo pattern. Yeah, and then also look at 126, like 400, how it retested that after breaking it on the lower time frame. Like this thing does look like it's gonna push a bit higher right now.
Yeah, this is a good little like that. This higher low was finally forming, guys, is so huge. So freaking huge. Yeah, that retest. Because if you look in the past, guys, that's what we were waiting for, right? We haven't seen a higher low like this really yet. You just have all these false moves. Like, right, here's the first break, right? What happens? We get a morning star and then it flops, right? Absolutely flops. Because it's a lower high and then dumps. Same thing here. Huge rally, good volume. Chop, chop, chop. We start getting bearish engulfings. Just starts pulling back and then doesn't recover. Consolidates here. But now on this one, we're getting the volume that's matching the prior high. So this is a good sign. This could, continue higher. But yeah, I would definitely wait for these lower time frame confirmations just to be extra sure. Okay, just because we've been faked out on EJ a lot recently. So just be wary with this one. Maybe take a reduced position. All right. But yeah, that's AJ. That's AJ. Definitely tricky. Unreal. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up with gold and then pass it off. Pass it off to Angelo for some majors. All right, guys, gold. Overall, on the daily, it's bearish. On the weekly and higher, it's bullish. All right, I want you guys to know that gold has been appreciating for years. Very long time. It's been, bullish overall. But on the daily, since we reached our new high at 2070, we've been bearish, okay? So with that in mind, I mean, you guys can see here, this is bearish, right? Lower lows, lower highs, moving through support, testing as resistance and so on. And then we're, hovering above 1800. Okay, so this is kind of the level to anticipate some sort of, reaction. How price action reacts here is going to determine a lot for us. Okay, so let's go to the 4 hour. We know our trends now. Let's see what's going on. This thing is pushing up, which is kind of expected, obviously as the dollar weakens, gold is, will appreciate. Not 100% correlated again.
Yeah, we've been in a long since 1838.88.
I'll just drop down again here.
So right now
you're up 100 pips, well over 100 pips.
Yeah, right now we're in a long on gold. We are expecting it. We're analyzing gold right now, bro. This guy goes, can you analyze gold? Yeah, so we're expecting it to head a bit higher here. As you can see, it just broke above the resistance at this 1840 whatever level that is. I can't see because it's like right there, but
Right here,
yeah, it just
45.
popped above there. If it holds here, guys, this thing's gonna fly into that 1865 level.
Yep,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah, this is looking good, guys. Gold is actually pretty easy to read right now. So yeah, this is what he was talking about. We broke right through that, guys, right? We're testing in support now. It's honestly looking like it's going to form a wick and just push higher. So that's our target, right? We're looking to target a little bit higher here. So the thing is, it still is pretty much bearish, right, guys? I mean, we did break into this range, so we will be targeting the top of the range, 1875, this upper handle here. But, you know, if this is going to change trend on, you know, even on the 4-hour here, we need to see it break above 1875. So there's potential for that as well. I mean, this is a lot of bullish volume. And again, guys, you know, you got to use some amount of fundamentals. Just like, even if we're just applying logic at the state of, you know, an economy or something, like the dollar's not doing well. You know, a lot of other assets are going to appreciate because of that. You know, a lot of people are turning towards other investments rather than the dollar. So gold, crypto, as we talked about in the beginning of the webinar, you know, commodities and so on. So yeah, I mean, gold rallying now, you know, it's expected. You know, it makes a lot of sense why it's rallying. And, you know, we'll be looking for these targets. So 1875 and above, essentially, this is the same thing that we'll look for here, like so. Okay, and then we'll target back up towards 1930, which would be really nice. So we're getting it at a good spot right now. Things are looking good.
We're getting
right.
some good value on gold.
Hell yeah.
So like Nick's saying, if it comes back into that support, 1825, then we'll look to long again.
Yep. Absolutely. So guys, yeah, hopefully that was the gold analysis you were looking for. But quick recap from me, guys. I covered DXY, AU. Damn, every time I click this damn chart, it's just like, oh shit. It's like, you know, damn.
The dollar.
DXY, man. Crazy.
Fuck.
So AU, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold. So I'm pass it off to Angelo. He's going to cover some majors.
Yes, sir. So guys, we're going to do a giveaway. It's going to be at the end of the session. So stick around for that. I'm going to go ahead, run through more of the major pairs here. We're going to get started with the dollar again. And then also we're going to do a little recap at the end of the signal. Should we enter gold or wait for the next signal? Yeah, just wait for the next signal, man.
Definitely.
Don't enter early right now. Yeah, guys, if you're in the signals chat and you guys are late to a signal, like I'm saying, like it's like 7 hours after or something, like 5 hours after, like don't take the signal. Just be patient, wait for the next one, and that's pretty much it. So as you can see with the dollar right now, let's bump up. So we always start just doing top-down analysis, guys. So always start on a higher time frame. Try to keep things as clean as possible. Got the monthly and weekly levels on here, and I'm kind of using quarters theory with this. As you can see, we're about with each of these levels, we're about, you know, what was this? The dollar is a little bit different, but on the major pairs, it's about 1,000 pips away from each other. Anywhere from 700 to 1,000 pips away is where I draw my key levels. As you can see on the dollar, so we came up, tested this. We're overall very bearish, you know, very bearish here. Came up, tested this moving average right here, large wick last week. So coming into the week, we were expecting some sort of sell off here, considering how the seller stepped in at the end of last week. And then from here, you just start to shift down time frames. You know, what is everything looking like on a lower time frame? What is structure looking like, mainly on the daily and the 4-hour? So I'm just gonna go ahead and clean this up a little bit right now, and we're actually hitting some major support here on the dollar. So if I were to fib this, I would fib all the way from this high right here to this low. As you can see, we've popped up. We're hitting this 38.2 level. This was my previous daily resistance that we rejected, had this bearish engulfing at the top, and then this thing started to fall off. So now we're back at support. So we're back at support on the dollar. I'm just going to come down to the 4-hour time frame. As you can see on the 4-hour, this thing was actually trending pretty bullish. You know, it was making this high or low, pushed up, had this minor pullback, made this new high. So what we're going to do, I'm going to actually draw this little trend line here. We're like coming down into this level. Just clean this up a little bit. So we're definitely coming down into support right now. We're showing some rejection from this area, and we're just very overextended. This thing's fallen about, you know, 120 pips or so. So I am expecting DXY to find support here and to push higher. That would mean, if the dollar does end up pushing higher, that would mean that gold would push lower. It doesn't correlate, as well, as closely. It's not like 100% correlation, but it's a good indicator. If the dollar starts to gain strength, gold will most likely weaken a bit. So we don't actually trade the dollar index, guys. We're just using it as confirmation because all these pairs obviously are weighted against the dollar. So let's move to GU. Early in the week, we were monitoring. We had the supply zone here. We're seeing, is price going to reject this area and go bearish, or are we going to pop above here? As you can see, we went really bullish on this. So let's bump up to the weekly time frame, just kind of clean all this up and see, currently where we're at. So on this weekly time frame, we're obviously popping up now to around this level. I'm just going to move my resistance. This is now my resistance based on these two support levels. So we're hitting this resistance now, but we're looking really strong. We're looking really strong right now. Obviously, the daily is very bullish on GU. It has been in this ascending channel this entire time. But the main time frame I'm looking at structure is really just the 4-hour. We can see making this high, higher low, this new high, this higher low, retest this high, higher low, then we broke, made this new high, started to consolidate, hit the 200, and then we pushed higher. So at this point, the trend is very bullish on GU. We are at these tops right now. We're not exactly at a level of resistance. Like, I know I drew this, but the way that I'm looking at it right now is this is really our next resistance level all the way up here. This 1.40 260 level. That's really the next level that I would look for, like, real reversal. Like, this thing is looking bullish as fuck right now at the moment.
That's
So
a healthy bullish trend, guys. Jesus.
yeah, so there's nothing to do on GU right now, to be honest, guys. We're not trying to take a short until we hit a major resistance level, which again would be really all the way up here. So we're just gonna wait, on GU. We're gonna see. Ideally, we want, before taking more long opportunities, and again, we're just going based off the higher time frame right now. Ideally, we want some sort of pullback. Pull back to this level, find support, and then go long. We're not trying to long right now. If this thing pushes down, and I'm going to even go to the lower time frame. Thing pushes down, has 100 pips to fall. Even on the 30-minute right now, there's nothing to really enter on. That we're not getting any sort of like deep pullbacks. This is just maintaining this very bullish push right now. So I'm going to move GU a little bit down my watch list for today. I'm not going to focus too much on that. Let's go over to USEF first, because I'm actually lining up. I'm trying to see if it finds some support here, but the dollar is just fucking tanking right now.
Not looking good for the dollar.
Yeah, so let's go up to the weekly time frame. On the weekly going into this week, basically we were looking at this monthly zone that I have marked here. Price came last week into this level, found a lot of resistance with this huge wick. So I was anticipating potentially some sort of reversal coming down to the daily time frame. If we were to fib this from this previous high right here to this new low all the way down here, we have this pullback. We're retracing. We hit 61.8 now, so we hit this 61.8 level, that resistance level. That's two confirmations there, and then the entry could have came really right here, like after this daily. So if we were to highlight this, and for you guys that are not struggling with time frame correlation, not understanding how to use every time frame, we'll just go ahead, highlight the candle, and like, this is clearly rejection candle, some sort of bearish variation. Come down to the 1 hour. That's why I like to go from the daily to the 1 hour, and then you could see, okay, we're in this bullish trend, on this time frame. I'm just gonna draw this little trend line. We're in this bullish trend on this daily time frame. We had bearish rejection from this monthly resistance right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this. And then we had this pullback. This is really like my most ideal entry right here, is this lower high forming after that daily confirmation. And then we could have put stops around 40 pips.
And look at that MA pullback and then MA cross on the engulfings. It's beautiful.
Yeah, this is a really simple, like, textbook entry right here that I would typically look for. And then USEF obviously has pushed down quite a bit now. So when we bump back up and take a look at, where is USEF at this point now, I'm just going to adjust this level a little bit, just put on the median of all these kind of candles right here. And we're coming down now. It looks very similar to Dixie right now. It's coming down into support. You know, whether we find support here or not, it's going to look very similar. These charts, you know, are looking really crazy. So if it finds support here, I'm actually trying to take a long opportunity on this, considering how overextended it is. And if this thing pops up, even 50 pips right now, you know, it's a great value, great trade. We're testing a serious level of resistance now, turn support. As you can see, we kind of found support here, dumped off. Now we're getting rejection here. If we get another bullish candle and this thing starts to just form some sort of M here at the bottom, then we're just going to like take a long here, try to, again, target at least this 200-day right here, about 60 pips to the upside. So stay ready on USEF. I am looking to trigger a trade on this one. I'll probably put it out in the chat for today. I did put out yesterday that I had a limit order on here. So I do have an order active right now. And I do have my stops around, I gave myself a good amount of room. I have them around 50 pips or so. So we'll see, you know, we'll see if this thing does respect this support level and it has a lot of room to move. I mean, it could come all the way back up to this trend line, another 80 pips to the upside. So that's USEF right now, looking for that opportunity. Then we've got UCAD. So on Sunday's session, we had one or two situations here. Either we were going to reject this resistance level and go bearish, which obviously you see how that played out, about 90 pips, or we were going to pop back above the resistance, find support, and go bullish here. So obviously this second scenario played out. So let's go back up to a higher time frame and see, you know, where the hell are we at right now? On the weekly time frame, this thing is clearly really bearish. Like it's below the moving averages. There's no, you know, we're below the 200-day. We're below these moving averages. We had this rejection last week, you know, against the moving average right here. So we were anticipating that movement downward. If I come down to the daily, we can see here it got kind of choppy in here, but this is how I have my fibs drawn. Adjust this a little bit. We came up to this like 78.6 area, which I have labeled as a daily resistance level. And we started to get, look, one bearish engulfing, not that clean, another bearish engulfing, another bearish engulfing. So clearly the bears were here stepping in. At this point now, you know, what essentially, you know, what's the move now? I mean, we still have potential to push down even more. We're at a support level right now, 126,900. You know, if we start to, you know, if this candle closes today as a doji, then I am going to expect this thing to reverse back into resistance, which would be up here. I'm just going to delete this level. Let's just hit the 4-hour real quick. Take a look at what's going on here. So I'm going to take off this. I'm going to take off this. We're going to clean this up a little bit. Clearly this level broke. You know, I'm not going to even look that left. Clearly we're in a downtrend. You know, now like Nick was showing on AJ or whatever, like we need some sort of pullback. You don't want to short here and get burned. You know, we want to see the pullback. You know, this is ideally the move that we want to make. If there is a buy opportunity, like trading against the trend, then we could trade against the trend back into this resistance right here. And that's what I'm talking about. Like we have some support here. We have this level. I'm just going to draw a little random line here. So this is what I'm talking about. Clearly this is some support here. If we look left, you know, whether we respect this level or not is going to be, you know, a telltale sign whether we're going to get this retracement and start to take longs back into this high right here. As you can see the wicks, but now we're starting to push a bit lower. So yeah, we'll see. We'll put out some analysis on this one. Haven't been trading UCAD too much, to be honest, in the signals. You know, I haven't been looking at this one too much, but if anything shapes up, then we'll get something. NU is another one which I really like right now. So let's move up just to the weekly. This one's looking super clean. So this weekly time frame, we're obviously testing these highs right now. This resistance level that I have marked early or a couple weeks ago had this huge bearish engulfing. So until we break above this high, guys, I'm looking for shorts. Until we break above this level, I am looking to short this. Coming down to the daily right here, as you can see, we are starting to form like higher lows here. We did just pop up kind of above there. And now we're pulling back. So I need this to hold above this little zone. If it holds above like 72, 400 level, like holds above this area, then we could kind of shift our bias a bit. But I am still looking to take potential shorts at this level right here. And as you can see, we just had a lot of bearish pressure come in, overnight last night. Had this candle, let's see, about 30 pips. Now it's pulling back. So I'm looking to short NU. Like, to be honest, if we were looking at this a bit earlier in the call, I would have even shorted it on the call. Right now, I mean, if you were to short it now, you'd have to put your stops at about 30 pips, and then we'd be targeting, downward levels. But pretty much this is why. I mean, we had this little bullish. We were obviously making highs, higher low, high, higher low, and then another higher low right here, and then this all started to break. So we had this little break right here, break of support. Now we're in this pullback. We're obviously rejecting this level again. And if I were to fib this on the lower time frame, boom, right here, we're rejecting 61.8. So, this would be the trade idea. We would be trading from this level. We'd be targeting down here. We'd have our stops right around here, and inevitably this would have been the trade idea if we saw this a little earlier in the call. If we were to get in right now, it's just our risk reward gets skewed a little bit. So if this thing does pull back again into this level, then we're going to short this. So I would even, set a limit order or something. If it pulls back again, then let's definitely look to get in on NU. This thing's looking really clean. The volume's there and everything. So I'm just going to leave this one. We're going to potentially get that. How can I get into signals? Yeah, I mean, I'll go at the end of this session. We'll go over, the signals and how they're doing and everything like that. Let's bump over to EU next. Let's go up to the weekly time frame. Let's clean things up a little bit. We're actually bumped down here. So going into the week, guys, I was looking for one of two situations. Either a rejection of this level, because obviously this thing was trending very bearish on like the 4-hour time frame. We're in a definite bearish trend right now. So I'm just gonna line this up. And I'm just gonna go over like, why am I saying that I'm bearish right now or whatever for you guys that are beginners. I'm just gonna come on, trace all this. This is kind of just an easy way for you guys to map out structure if you're struggling with how to kind of identify it. So go ahead, draw this out. I'm gonna hide all this stuff right here. So now we can clearly see, this is in a downtrend. If I were to use my fibs, remember guys, we're not saying anything is structure until it hits 38.2. So pulls back, hits 38.2 here until we break 0%. We're gonna leave our fibs here, break 0% there. So I'm going to adjust the fibs to this low right here. Then we have this retracement to 78.6, pushes down, retraces to 618, pushes down, retraces to 50%. Then we break 0%. So this is our previous lower high right here. So if this level breaks, we're changing our bias. We're then going to be bullish on this. And then I'm going to fib from this high to this low. This is where we're currently at. Early in the week, I was looking to reject this support level first. Obviously, we didn't reject that. If we bring back on everything, we came up into there, had some wicks, but never really turned over anything. Let me just take this off. So this is now in my next kind of confluence area. I have the 100% level, 78.6 level. We've got resistance up here. We've got this little supply zone up here as well. That's multiple confirmations. We're starting to wick this a bit. If I come down to the 30-minute, I'm going to show you we are not going to short this, guys, until one of two things. We could either take a very risky trade right now at this high, just start shorting it now, put the stops above this resistance, or we can wait for something, a little more practical, wait for this support level to break right here. And as soon as this thing breaks, this thing's going to start falling. So we're going to look for either an entry on the break or a retest. And that means the price will be at that point very bearish. And as you can see here, we're already starting to like test this level twice. We're getting a double top in here. So, EU, this is my trade idea. Again, EU and NU are kind of my main ideas for today. They're looking the best. USEF, it is finding this double bottom, but still has a little bit more. It doesn't have as many confirmations as these other two with these like monthly and weekly levels or whatever. So we're gonna wait on those. No trades really at the moment on NU. I'm gonna wait. You see it's wicking right now. If we pop up again, I'm gonna get in on another order, throw stops above here. But that's pretty much it. That's it for the analysis on all the major pairs. I did NU, EU, USEF, UCAD, and GU, and Nick covered a bunch of other pairs for you guys that joined a little bit later. So if you have any questions, guys, feel free to post in the chat, and we can go over anything before we kind of wrap it up. And then GU, so can you check GJ? I'm actually not really trading GJ too much right now. I'll pull it up, but it's not really on my watch list at the moment. So let's just pull up to the weekly. Obviously, this thing's been really bullish, broke this resistance right here. Let's just zoom out a bit. What's going on here? I'm going to just take off all these things. We clearly broke above this monthly level. We broke the 200. So this thing's running at this point. It's running away. It's extremely bullish. We are testing all of this resistance right here. I'm going to draw this like little zone.
This thing's running like freaking Usain Bolt, bro. This thing's taking off.
Dude, yeah. I mean, we have a resistance level right here that's testing, but there's really no sign of reversal yet. Daily time frame is very bullish. 4-hour time frame just formed this, which is extremely bullish. If anything, this thing looks like it's going to continue higher. Now, I wouldn't take an entry until we get a better pullback here, because guys, we want to enter in more valuable areas. Like if it pulls back to this zone and then finds support, moves through the moving average, much like this, then we're going to take another long. Right now, this thing isn't telling me much. It's just at a high. So let's let it push down a little bit more before we actually get on a trade. What are your thoughts? If you have time to review. Yeah, I mean, I'm not personally trading Euro NZD too much. I'm going to go ahead and just pull up real quick for you guys that are asking, about the signals and everything. So a lot of people want to see actually inside of the chat and what goes on in here. So for you guys that ask about the do we give the take profit and the entry and everything, that's the point of what signals are. I mean, we give, you'll see right here. I'm just going to scroll up a bit to wherever this last trade was. NZD JPY was the last position we put out. So we're given the entry, we're given the stop loss. Most of the times we're doing TP open, but we're always targeting at least 2-to-1 on the trades, guys. Kind of our rule of thumb is when we get to 1-to-1 on the trades, which means whatever the stop loss is when we reach that amount in profit. In this case, it would be we had 75,690 was the entry, so the stop loss was only 19 pips. So once it went up 19 pips, then dude, what the hell is this? I love
that. It's so good. Meme. That's what I was laughing at. So this chat, guys, is not boring at all. You guys can actually comment. That's what all these comments are on each of these. So it's very active. It's super funny. Like a lot of the time, it's just great energy.
So we did a little buy on gold last night. We did buy on NJ last night as well. I think and then I was sometimes I'll manage it on my phone, if it's late or whatever. I put out this last night. We were in the AJ buy. I spotted this ascending triangle. It looks like crap. But I spotted that ascending triangle right there. And when you're in trades, guys, and you're on the lower time frames, looking and seeing should I stay in the trade or whatever, just look for patterns. You know what I mean? Just look for patterns that are happening, and that way you can be more comfortable staying in the trades. We were in that trade last night, and as soon as I saw, okay, we're in this ascending triangle, to me, I was we're gonna head higher. That's what the pattern shows. That's according to what we know, an ascending triangle is a continuational pattern. So at that point, we should expect price to go higher. So we were managing a few trades last night. We were in EA, which went into some profits. We were in gold, which obviously moved a lot higher today. It went up about 100 pips, and we're posting analysis in here too. And like Nick said, we have a discussion group as well that people are in, and everyone's in here kind of chatting about what trades they're in, and we try to update things as much as we can. I mean, we're only human, you know what I mean? So we try to be available as much as possible and update everything. yeah, it's extremely active. I'll continue to put out the results on everything and update you guys. And if you guys have any questions about the chat or anything, feel free to message. I know a lot of people got in on the what is this? Got in on the 50% off, where it was 37.50. A lot of people got in on that like earlier this week, and a lot of people want us to bring that back. So we'll see if we're gonna bring that back. There's no promotions at the moment. I mean, I see some people want like a Valentine's Day freaking sale or something. You love yourself or whatever. So maybe we'll do a sale for Valentine's Day on everything, but just to reiterate, guys, what the offerings are. We're not going to go too much into sales on this call, but the signals, which are now back to full price, 75, the trade copier, and the full course. If you're interested in anything, I would just schedule a call with me, and then we can kind of go over everything and see if it makes sense for you to join up on everything. And then we are AJ doing the damn thing. Yeah, AJ is going crazy. We are we're gonna do a call tomorrow on everyone wants us to do like a webinar tomorrow or whatever, like a free webinar. So we're gonna potentially do one tomorrow. I'll put out some more information on that. It's good for us. Yeah, I mean, we try to put out the analysis. There's obviously like a lot going on. We also are giving out some free signals in the Telegram, so look out for those guys, the free ones. Just don't risk your whole account on one signal. Like, I can't stress this enough, guys. If you're losing money and you're in that mindset of like, I need to make back the money I lost, like you are gonna lose 10 times out of 10. Like, just stop with that approach and just use risk management. If you're gonna risk 2%, then risk 2% on every single trade. Don't risk 2%, then 1%, then 0.5%. Then your winners are not gonna outweigh the losers. Do provide even free on your Telegram. Not sure what that means, but yeah, we do provide some free signals, free analysis in the Telegram, also the Discord. Tell us how to use fibs. Yeah, tomorrow I'll go over in the webinar. I'll do more in depth on fibs. It will be recorded, so for all you guys that wanna get in on that, then tomorrow will be the day for you guys. Are you still for now? Thank you. Yeah, I mean, no problem. And if you guys have any questions, the best way to reach us is going to be in the Telegram or the Discord. Instagram is not the way to reach us because there's way too many messages. Do you trade GJ? Yeah, I don't trade GJ as much right now, but I do trade GU a lot, and GU moves pretty much the same as GJ if you guys haven't noticed. So sometimes I'll trade both of those. Other than that, for the giveaway, let me see what we should do here for this.
Yeah, if you have any questions, hit us up on Discord with that, like, because we can, regarding the master trader, we'll give you more details.
For the yeah, so for FX Seed, I mean, this is pretty much how it works. We were doing it where people were paying us to do the FTMO challenge for people. Now that we're working with FX Seed, it's very similar to FTMO. It's just a funding company. You got to pass the challenges, guys. So you have to go through the phase 1, the phase 2, and pass all the trading terms. If you guys want, for FX Seed, the master trader thing is basically, instead of you taking the challenge, we will take it for you and manage the account for you. So we're allowed to do that, or it's part one of the features of the company. I know FTMO technically you're not allowed to have like used bots or EAs or trade copying. So we're gonna allow that on FX Seed. So if you're interested in the master trader program, basically what it is, guys, is you will sign up for a funded account and then you're trusting our team to trade the account for you. You don't have to do anything. We trade the account for you, and it's a 50-50 profit split on whatever we make on the account. Thank you so much. Please send the link. Please analyze gold. Yeah, we did analyze gold. So if you want, just watch the replay. What's the minimum equity for the trade copier? The minimum equity is going to be 1,000 for the smaller trade copier, and then 5,000 for the main trade copier. Doing the 10K challenge on FXC. Nice. Yeah, we've been having some people pass the last few days, so we're gonna actually do I'm gonna interview one of the people that passed the challenge, because it is relatively new, so everyone's like, oh, like, is it legit or whatever. So I'm gonna start to interview people that passed the challenge and everything. Yeah, no, we do provide lesson about risk ratio per trade, guys. If you want a lesson on risk management, just join the free course. The free course has like a full breakdown of how to how to, I guess, calculate like your risk, your lot size and everything. So that's like literally in the free course. You
How
guys
to
can just,
properly not blow your account, right?
yeah, you guys can just get in there and use that.
So especially if you're kind of new and you're looking to get into signals, definitely like go through that first to understand like the strategy we're applying and the risk settings and parameters that we're using,
Hmm.
and then go ahead and jump into signals and learn and earn through that.
Yeah, we never suggest anyone to buy the signals that doesn't know how to freaking trade. Like if you literally don't have MT4 or you just don't know how to look at positions, like you shouldn't be taking signals. What you should be doing, you should be trying to learn how to
Mhm.
actually like look at the charts yourself, because the signals is really just educational. I mean, the purpose is to make money for everyone, of course, but it's not like you're going to be in the trades, they're on your account. You got to manage them to an extent. Like we're managing them the best that we can, but everyone that's making money in the signals to an extent has some level of experience with trading too, and they're managing those orders themselves, and it's not just like I'm going to close my eyes and like take signals.
Yeah. Are you showing your email or your chart?
Oh yeah, I guess it just popped up.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, so yeah, definitely like we're not just trying to push signals on people. Like it's there as a tool. You could learn a ton from it. There's also a free course in there. You could also earn alongside that. So yeah, it's a pretty big signals package.
Yeah, if you want to get in on the free course and all the free stuff, just go into the Telegram, this pinned message at the top. Just click this, obviously follow the rules, no advertising, no shitty jokes, no bad vibes, no weird vibes. Like if y'all are in there doing some weird shit, I'm gonna boot you quicker than fucking you don't even know. So yeah, no weird shit. We do have a group chat on Telegram too, so make sure you guys join, the group chat. That this way, people are in here giving signals too and like just crazy shit. So there's a lot going on in here as well for everyone. That's completely for free. This guy's got my name, about to boot him because of that. But no. And then if you want to get the free services, there's all these bots, don't the bots are just make it easier for us to put all the information out there. So, don't be alarmed that it's a bot or whatever. It's just the information,
Yeah,
yeah.
information and navigation essentially. It helps you find what you're looking for in a pretty
Yeah.
organized way.
Yeah, and so like if you're interested in the full course membership, come here. You can schedule a call with us. We'll walk through everything. If you want the signals, go here. The account management, the funding, all the information's here. If you guys need a broker, we do use Prosperity Forex. That's our broker of choice right now. And if you need help getting it set up, I put together like some videos for that. And then that's pretty much it. There's also just a little like tidbit here about the lot sizes, about what you should use. Because guys, we're not in the business of like trying to spew some bullshit about, what is possible in Forex. I mean, you guys are trying to start a new business. You're trying to trade, you're trying to do it professionally, so there's no secrets. You just can't blow your account. You just can't blow your account. If you guys blow your account, it's the same thing as like you have any other business. You invest all your money in inventory that no one buys, and then all of a sudden, you're fucked. So,
And you're setting yourself back further than you would have been if you had been a little more patient, a little more conservative, took the right approaches to learning and investing and so on. So I mean, you guys are all taking the first step. You're on this webinar, so that's a good sign. We're all taking the right step and towards trading the right way anyway.
yeah, if you want the Discord, you just come in here, free Discord chat, and just click this bot again. This is where you're gonna find information on everything. And we have messages scheduled in here every day with like all the information as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're gonna hop off. I'm about to go freaking eat some lunch.
Yeah, seriously,
or eat breakfast, whatever the fuck.
a little mix, a mix of both.
Mix of both.
Little brunch,
Little smoothie action. How we doing? But
yeah.
but yeah, if you guys want to get in on any of the services, just go in the Telegram and get set up.
Hell yeah, guys. So the next time we'll see you is Sunday. This is the last live trading session for this week, the public one anyway. And then tomorrow we'll have another session for another webinar. So,
Oh yeah, the giveaway. I'll post in the chat about the giveaway. I haven't thought of something yet, but I'll just post in the Telegram. We'll do a giveaway in there. My man Keith is really trying to get that $25.
Yeah, man. Look, he's ready. He's like, I was on this webinar for the giveaway. You guys didn't
My
say
guy
nothing.
stayed on the whole webinar. Is like, fuck, no giveaway. I'm out. Yeah, no. Well, I'll post in the chat, guys, what the giveaway will be, and like Nick said, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll announce when the webinar is going to be and everything like that, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh yeah. Peace, guys.
Peace out, everybody.